Good morning from Pennsylvania. It is the second day of the final test for Global Empires. We played last night for approximately 3 hours and got through the middle of turn 6. We'd go a lot faster, but we were teaching the warden and another player how to play. The economist is playing remotely due to work requirements. He had to stay where he is. So just a quick overview of how this is going. I feel really good about the rules. Remember, Global Empires, all the rules are mostly bridging rules and either otherwise follow Global 14 or Global 36 core rules, and it tells you which ones in those 35 pages. So I felt really good because when the warden showed up after, as many of you know, he is a avid player, Global 36. He only had 2 clarifications, well, 3, but 2 that actually impacted some rule updates, and they were very minor. So at this stage of the game, in fact, the warden is playing Germany. He is at war with Britain. Britain attacked him, but he had put a lot of pressure on the Austrians, and both the Germans and the Russians have attacked the Austrians. I am playing France. I aligned Austria. I aligned them really early, and I found that to be a provocative act. And so the warden decided that he would move on Austria because he didn't want all of that combat power on his flank with France on his other flank. And so he's feeling very threatened by that. But otherwise, he has been unable to align the Ottomans. If you look at the chart, the Ottomans are still at stage 1, whereas the rest of us have aligned our minor powers with a reference sheet. Britain has aligned Japan. France has aligned Austria. Like I said, that was a provocative act to the other players. Kind of a catch-22, but what are you going to do? And then Russia has aligned Italy. And the only true combat, just overview here on the table. Actually, I'm going to go left to right, talk about what each player is doing. The economist playing the U.S. has not built hardly any land units. If you notice, he's moved his entire Navy out of the United States East Coast, and he is moving to the West Coast, and he's building trench fighters. He's made it very clear that he's going to use a strategy that involves trench fighters, which have a more powerful attack than even regular infantry, but they have a horrible defense. But he believes he can use them on destroyers, and it's pretty obvious because with technology you can move an infantry class unit on a destroyer, and it looks to us that he has got a Pacific focus. Going to the middle of the table, Britain is heavily fortified. They conducted most of their combat here in Africa, taking African territories. France is heavily fortified in Alsace, but Germany is also in Bavaria. It looks like we're going to be locked there. But Germany's also had to turn her attention to the east, where the Russians have massed on their border. Germany has assaulted Bohemia on 3 occasions and has been unable to take it. But the Russians, at the expense for the Austrians, the Russians are in Galicia and probably going to continue to move in. Not much hope that the Austrians will hold for very long, especially if Russia activates the Italians. The Italians have not declared war on anyone at this point. The British fleet, it's pretty obvious, has left the Mediterranean. The Austrians and the French dominate for now. Don't expect, if the Austrians lose all their territory, they'll surrender. So not sure the Austrian fleet's going to be of much use. Ottomans have made no move. Russia has otherwise not attacked anyone, although they are appearing to mass their military in the east. There is an objective that involves taking territories in the east, possibly also India. I'm not sure if that is the Russian tactic or not. Not much activity by the nationalists in China. They've taken one territory. The warlords stole their money on the very first turn, and so yeah, that kind of inhibited some of their first moves. Strangely enough, the British fleet has massed in the east also, possibly to counter what the Americans are doing. In fact, he's even building units and fleets over here in Australia. So very early in the game, we're halfway through turn 6. We're very happy with so far the balance, as well as just the fact that there are very few questions from the other players about the rules. They seem to be fitting in real nicely. We'll continue to keep you updated through the weekend. Have a great day.